Today we're talking about women
Talk your
and
shit.
child support. We got the actress, um, View host, former View host Sherri Shepherd, talking about her situation with her second husband and the baby that they had and how she paying for that baby. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, y'all.
You in a situation that makes everybody mad.
Yeah, I pay child support,
Do you see the baby?
because the child's not biologically connected to me.
Right.
So what
You like, I'm not getting involved in that.
What people don't know, because you will never see anything other than the smile. I don't let you in on my private life. So what people don't know is every day we argued. Every day we argued about this. He wanted a baby. I did not want a baby because I have Jeffrey with special needs. I was tired.
Right.
And he was like, it ain't fair that you have a baby. Do you have a son and I don't have a son? And I mean, it literally, basically, he was like, well, if you don't have my baby, then... So when somebody do this,
right,
that mean I'm gonna go, and it was so public, our wedding, because he wanted to have it on TV. He wanted to have a big wedding, which the IRS is still auditing me for. And so it was just like, it was so public, it was an embarrassment. So basically, I had consigned myself to, okay, we're gonna have this baby, and I'm gonna just be unhappy for the rest of my life and have an affair. Because I said, well, how are we gonna take care of this child? Because I'm working 2 jobs already. I'm doing a newlywed game. I'm doing a view. And he like, we'll get a second nanny. How are we supposed to afford a second nanny?
Oh, I'm just supposed to work myself to death.
And then I told him, because he was an out of work writer, and I said, well, you got to get a job writing. And he was like, no, because if we have a baby, I'm staying home. No, I don't do stay-at-home husbands. I do husbands that work. But he was adamant, I'm not going to Hollywood to get no job. I'm going to stay home. And well, then how am I supposed to? Then that means I got to work. So people don't understand. We were having those kind of arguments every day, and then I got to go on the air and be happy. So I finally said, fine. I didn't pick the surrogate. I didn't pick the donor who had the egg. I didn't pick the gestational carrier. I was not involved. So when I finally put him out, because I found out he was doing all kinds of stuff, he said, and I said, well, I'll pay you $2,000 a month, $2,500 for your son, and if you know, if you need anything, if I'm working, I'll be the fairy godmother. I'll come, I'll come in here and I'll help you out. And then he was like, no, I want $10,000 a month. And he said, if your son go to private school, my son go to private school. And I said, but my son is in the school for kids with special needs. If he wasn't, he'd be open a public school in Jersey. So it was that kind of extortion stuff to people. And because God, when he was doing all the interviews, God was like, shut it down. So because God was like, don't talk, I never said nothing. So people don't know. Then, you know, I go and they go, you know, all my merchandise that I used to sell on the road, I had built up like 25 grand. So when my business manager was like, yeah, you know, you got $200. So he took all the money out the account. So that's the kind of stuff people don't know. And for me, like, the baby doesn't know me. I put him out when the lady was 4 months pregnant.
Right.
It would be more detrimental to my son to have a relationship with a child that's not biologically his brother.
Right.
You know, everybody thinks about myself. They keep going, well, you know, why don't y'all just, you know, be a part of the baby's life? But the baby don't know me.
Right, at all.
He doesn't know me at all. We're not biologically connected. For me to try to build a bond with my son and this child, when he already has 2 siblings from my ex-husband who cheated on me and had a baby. Now, I do everything I can to keep their bond. But to open my son's heart to a child that's not his brother, it doesn't make any sense. You know, so I think people don't understand that he wants to have a relationship so he can still be attached to me, so he can do a reality show, so he can, you know. That's why it fought so hard to put my name on their birth certificate. Because I offered to give him a big lump sum. But
right.
I didn't want my name on the birth certificate. But he fought so hard because for my name to be on the birth certificate, he can still go to People magazine and say, Sherri ain't visited her son and we made this baby out of love and he's sitting here and he got a disease that's going to kill him. You know, which it's a blood disorder that 4 out of 10 black boys have. Then my son has the same blood disorder, but he plays it up for the media. So people don't know all of that. But we took it to the Supreme Court. And so, you know, I pay child support and it's okay. Because if God, the baby didn't ask to be in this.
No.
And so if God is using me to be a financial blessing, then that means I'm always work. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's still, I mean, I just...
But I have to take onus. You know, you have to take onus for your part in the situation.
Right.
I married him out of fear. I had a fear that Jeffrey wasn't going to have a strong man in his life. I married him out of fear that I wasn't going to get married again. That, you know, you go through that whole thing. Oh, who going to want me? Am I going to be married again? Am I going? Now I'm fine. I'm fine being single. Before I was like, I got to be married.
Yeah, because you get to a certain age and you start getting scared. Like, who going to take care of me?
Yeah.
Am I going to just be working myself to death for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
Like, and you said, like, I need somebody.
And then, girl, people would tell me, you can't have sex. You know you gotta be married. You can't be out here having sex. You gotta be celibate.
Because y'all want people talking about you. Your business gonna be in the street. Whatever.
The Bible say, 1 Corinthians say, if you lusting, you gotta get married. And I was like, okay, now I gotta get married to have sex. Geez, I don't have all that anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I needed that relationship to learn how to say, this is what works for me.
Yes.
So what is working for me, I know y'all say I gotta be celibate, but what works for me right now is my son about to get up in a couple hours. I need you to go. I'm okay with that.
I think as grown women, we have needs, and we...
Do I smell a whore?
Hey, she say she ain't got to be married to have none. Okay, let's get into this. That was a lot. All right, so first of all, I don't know. Let me slow down. Okay, Sherri Shepherd. I want to say first of all,
Get over here!
what were you thinking? What were you thinking? This is her second marriage. This lady's 56 years old. What were you thinking? Even being in agreement to this, the marriage was already rocky and a hot mess because you heard her say she kicked him out while the surrogate was 4 months pregnant, and she wasn't even involved in none of that process. Basically, she let her ex-husband pressure her into having a baby, which I find to be crazy. So let me get myself off of here. So this is the man. And this is that baby, cute little baby that they had via surrogate. And down in the corner, you can see them on the wedding day. So I find it interesting that this went all the way to the Supreme Court. And we have women out here making stupid decisions. Like she said, she did all this based on fear. So now you're paying this man, and you're paying child support because you were married to him. And these are conversations that go on in these spaces a lot, and I just can't understand it, because in my mind I'm like,
Hell no!
ain't no way in the world. Second marriage. So that tells me you didn't learn anything from the first marriage. You did everything out of fear. Her words, not mine. You told yourself, well, I'm just gonna be unhappy and have an affair. Who the hell says that? Who the hell gets married? Their spouse wants a baby. They don't, because she already had a special needs child. And I completely feel her as someone with autistic relatives. I completely understand her not want to have another child. Shouldn't y'all have discussed this before y'all got married? I'm not understanding that. And then you say, forget it. Our marriage is so broke up. I'm going to just agree to let him do his thing, have the surrogate. He picks the woman. He does all of that. And I'm just going to have an affair. Like, at that point, the marriage is trash if you tell yourself, I'm just going to be having an affair. Like, I find that to be crazy at someone their age bracket. Then she talks about the extortion, how he wants money. Of course he wants money. I don't know what these celebrities be thinking, men or women, but once you get to a certain status, 9 times out of 10, the person who get with you is doing it for the money and the status. I mean, come on. You got average everyday people who looking for a come up. Didn't Cardi B talk about how she was running around setting people up, setting men up before she blew up? So what makes these celebrities think people really love them and people really want to be with them, male or female? This is giving me Tyrese Gibson. This is giving me Mary J. Blige. Like, what do y'all be thinking when y'all be marrying these people? Y'all think these people really love y'all, huh? Y'all the actors and actresses, and y'all can't see through the goddamn act?
Really, nigga?
Okay, now he talking about he want to be a stay-at-home husband. For what? For what? He's a writer and he refused to go to Hollywood. He could probably get in even on some nepotism stuff off her name, but he is just adamant about not working. How many men just want to be stay-at-home husbands? That's a red flag. Okay, did I talk about how they went to the Supreme Court for this? Like, you fought this man all the way to the Supreme Court, and to this day, you still paying this man. Y'all, the decisions you make today affect you down the road. In the words of my father, you got to be real careful with the choices and the decisions you make, because you don't know how traumatic and how devastating the effect of those said decisions are going to be down the road. Now, she talks about her first husband. Her first husband cheated on her and had a whole side baby. What's really going on here? It's giving Sherri, you don't know how to pick them. I ain't going to just beat up on the men because you the one agreed to meet them at the altar. So let's talk about her saying she has no biological relationship to this little fella here, which is true. It wasn't her eggs and none of that. And how she already have to deal with her special needs son, the estranged relationship he has with her first husband, and then there's some real blood siblings there. So she like, I don't want nothing to do with this baby. This ain't my baby, and let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Most people don't want to be bothered with their own kids, let alone someone else's kids. You know, whether it was ex, step, any of that. Like, them days is over with. That whole village, at least not in America, ain't nobody trying to be bothered with no kids. Everybody trying to do them. And she's still paying. She's still paying because they were married. Because you married him, what you should have told him was absolutely not. I'm not in agreement to this. I cannot take on another child. Financially, you heard her talking about she couldn't afford a second nanny. So I don't know what's going on, but this man had his own plan and he executed. And Sherri got to hold this L.
Nope.
So, you know, I just found this to be very interesting because I heard about this. I heard about her having a kid that she was paying for that wasn't even hers. And we hear these stories a lot with men, and men love these kind of stories. They're like, yes, y'all finally see what we go through. Now, again, my father was never on child support. My husband, you know, so I don't firsthand know, but I hear about these stories, and I think it's terrible that she allowed herself to get caught up in feelings and fear. The whole narrative, ain't nobody gonna want you, and that type of thing. So she just gave in to everything. Now they ain't even together, and you still paying so he could sit back and have a cushy lifestyle because he want to be a house husband. Y'all, I don't know. To me, this junk right here is foul. This is foul right here. But then again, you know what? She agreed to it at a point, so she got to hold the L.
And you know this.
But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give me a comment, share the content, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
Come on, push a button.